Like, yeah, you're live. Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Bumi Akiremi, and I am a Gold Microsoft Desktop ambassador, and also the community lead for Microsoft Desktop Ambassadors OAU, and the lead organizer for this hackathon today. Okay. Hi Tosin.
Hello, hi Bumi, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing
Can you hear
great.
me,
I hope
please?
you're doing well as well.
Oh, great. Sure,
I can.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I know that 365 Copilot is a recent technology that just got released about last week, and I'm sure a lot of people really want to know what this is all is about. So, today, Ms. Tosin would be telling us about Microsoft 365 Copilot and how you can use it in building your solution. Right. So, yeah, you have the floor.
All right, thank you very much. So, I don't know if I can have my slide up. All right, great. So, welcome everyone. I'm excited to be here. I will be talking about introduction to Microsoft Copilot. So, without further ado, let's get started. Yes, so my name is Oluwatosin Anishere. I graduated from the University of Ibadan, where I studied computer science. I'm currently based in Dublin, Ireland. I have over 13 years of work experience and I specialize in Microsoft Azure and Microsoft 365 technologies. I've worked as a Microsoft trainer, Microsoft support engineer, and IT administrator. I fondly refer to myself as Microsoft centric. Don't mind me. That's because Microsoft seems to be the only technology I know. I'm a Microsoft MVP and a Microsoft certified trainer. Also, I'm the current leader for the Azure Nigeria community. Okay, so let's get started because I'm really excited. We'll be talking about introduction to Copilot. So before we get started, I'm going to give us the overview of this Copilot, that's the Microsoft 365 Copilot. I'm going to talk about what is Microsoft 365 Copilot, the benefits of Microsoft 365 Copilot, how we can use the Microsoft 365 Copilot. Then we'll have a little demo to see how it works, and we'll conclude with a summary. So hopefully we have enough time to take questions, and have answer session. So that's how we are going to run the flow for this engagement, or should I say session. So let's move on and let's start with the overview. All right. So when it comes to this time, I think last year, November, late last year, that should be November 2022 precisely, there was this buzz, for OpenAI ChatGPT, which was launched. And I don't know how many of us have been opportune to use this OpenAI ChatGPT. If I may ask, what is your experience? I wouldn't mind you, putting that in this chat session for me to see what you feel. For those of us that have used it before, what's the experience like? What did you notice? What's that, different thing? Did you find it exciting? Were you wowed? Or you feel, oh, it's something, you're used to? I would like to know in the comment section. But, while you're doing that, I just permit me to briefly define Chat GPT. You know, ChatGPT basically is a chatbot that you use to interact, conversationally with users. It's a tool that is created by OpenAI, and it's capable, of having this human form of dialogue. The way you communicate with human, not robots this time around. that there is this, dialogue where you have a back and forth. That's the way, this particular chat GPT operate. And the interesting thing about this is it has, I wouldn't say mind, but I would say it's capable of admitting its own mistake. And let me give an example of that. So this chat GPT here, I was asking, so it was more or less like a conversation with the chatbots asking, tell me about Obafemi Awolowo University in Nigeria. And of course, these were the response that the chat GPT generated, helping me to understand the history, the former name it's called, UNIFE or University of Ife, that it was once before it was renamed Obafemi Awolowo, and so many of that exciting information. So this is cool, and this is how the chat GPT work. Now you may be wondering, is it not more or less like, oh, I'm trying to make a research and I'm browsing, using the search engine? Yeah, the search engine is going to give you, information of what you want, but different information. But with the chat GPT, it's going to give you the precise information you are asking for. Now, another thing, I said something about human form of dialogue. So I tried something else, and I said with the chat, like, you've got any idea of who is Oluwatosin Anishere? Of course, the chat GPT doesn't know who I am, and it has to apologize. There's even empathy. Apologizing that it doesn't have enough information to tell me who Oluwatosin Anishere is. And if I could provide, more context, it would help. So that's, more interactive, like having a human form of dialogue. Of course, I gave it a clue, and the clue brought out something. So you can even navigate furthermore, and that's how interesting this chat GPT works. Now, since we now have an idea of chat GPT, let's go to Microsoft Copilot. This year, March 16, 2023, Microsoft announced bringing its own power of next generation AI to workplace productivity tool with Microsoft 365 Copilot. I was very excited when I heard this news. I've just explained how the chat GPT works, giving us, a simple example. But the Microsoft 365 Copilot is so much more than this chat GPT. It has, an improved method of performing even repetitive tasks that you do every day, all the time. It's brand new method of operation. That's what it is. So let's find out what is this Microsoft 365 Chat GPT. I would say Microsoft 365, I'm sorry, Copilot. I'm sorry, please, Copilot. Microsoft 365 Copilot. It combines the power of LLM, that's the large language model, with data that is inside Microsoft Graph, as well as the Microsoft 365 apps. It turns your own word. When I mean your word, whether the word you say or the word you type, it turns it into the most powerful productivity tool on planet. Now, let's take it back a little and even understand who is a co-pilot. Literal meaning this time around. We all know who a pilot is, flies the plane in charge of an airplane and all. Now, a co-pilot this time around is a qualified pilot as well, but this time around, its own major job is just to assist the pilot, or should I say captain? No, pilot, basically, that's the right word, and relieves the pilot, but usually the co-pilot is not in command. So what I'm trying to say is the co-pilot primarily, operates the airplane, yes, but then it's just to, like an assistant. It still takes direction, from the pilot itself. Now, let's bring it back to Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now, you as a user, you are in charge. So the major work or the major thing that the Microsoft 365 Copilot does is to assist you. It's going to take command from you. It's going to take direction from you. So you are in charge, and the Copilot is only assisting you or helping to make work, life easier. So let's see, how does it work? Just like what we have on the screen, Copilot is a mixture of the LLM, that's the large language model, the Microsoft Graph, that's basically your own data that you have, then the Microsoft 365 apps, the likes of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, apps, and so on and so forth. So the likes of the, so how does this work? What we do is, how it works is, when a user type a question into the chatbot, there's this word input field where you can chat, your question or what you want to know or what you want the chatbot to help you with. Now, the data usually would be routed through the Microsoft Graph for analysis and interpretation before it's forwarded to the chat GPT language model. Now, before it displays the solution, or before it displays the output to you to say, okay, this is what I have, it will also the user inside of the Microsoft, the ChatGPT first will transmit that data back to Microsoft Graph for additional validation, security, and even compliance check before it's out. But that's why for if you ask some sensitive questions and all, it's going to because of compliance and security check, you may not get full information. Now, Microsoft itself has designed the Copilot to collaborate with Microsoft 365 users in two ways. The first one is to integrate with the Microsoft 365 products, those tools, or should I say apps, that you get to use every day. Like I mentioned earlier, the likes of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, and so other Microsoft product that you know. So the idea of this is just to help increase productivity, or to help you to be creative. Now, the second thing, or should I say the second way that Copilot is going to collaborate with users is also through business chats. Okay, the business chat, I would say it's your Microsoft 365 apps, like I gave us the example of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, and the rest of them, and your own data. So it makes it look like a standalone. Okay, so what it does is it's going to include the likes of your calendar. So it's going beyond, just the Outlook tool, but the calendar, your emails that you receive, conversation from your Microsoft Teams, document that you've worked on, or you have meetings that has been recorded or that are going on, contact, and so on and so forth. So that's what it integrates, and that's the two ways. Again, it's the Microsoft 365 everyday app, as well as Microsoft 365 app with your data. Those are the two ways, in which it will collaborate. So let's find out what are the benefits of this Microsoft 365 Copilot. One is introduction to natural language. And you would agree with me, especially for those of us that maybe we had the opportunity of, doing programming, or even as little as Excel. You will know that whenever you want to get an information, you have to give a command. Maybe there's a command like the likes of PowerShell and all. But for this what's it called, Microsoft Copilot, there's an interactive way. It makes it very possible and very easy to get things done. Imagine you want to write your end of the year project or thesis, however it's being called. You can easily utilize this Microsoft 365 Copilot to get your work done without stress. I'll put it that way. I remember when I had to write my project, we have to browse, for information and do research and get data. Then you sit down to edit, you take it back to your, project lead or whoever that is in charge of a project to take a look, you take it back. It's so much back and forth. Now, what this Microsoft 365 Copilot is going to do is it's going to make your life easier. Now, one thing is that people do say, oh, AI in general context is going to take job away from human. And usually I would say I don't think so. It's not really to take the job away, but it's to enhance, to make the job much more easier. So the easiest way to get by with it is just to ride on the trend and improve oneself, like upskilling oneself within this AI, so that it can make life easier for you and get your job done. So sorry, I digress. Back to natural language. It's more or less giving you that form. It's user friendly. You can easily ask question. You can easily say, oh, respond to my email. You can easily say, help plan about a as simple as birthday party, help plan a birthday party, or send invites to people, or give me a summary of the last meeting. For someone like me that gets to attend meeting all the time, and at the end of the meeting you have to send a follow-up email, or you have to send summary of the meeting, all those plenty things that you would get to do, quite stressful outside your major work. The Microsoft 365 Copilot is is to that. And with natural language, when I mean natural language, no special commands, just say it as it is, and straight away it gets the work done for you. Another thing is it enhances creativity. Okay, so what, like I use the project example, rather than you writing for days. I wonder how long it takes some people to write a project, or months in itself. With this Microsoft 365 chat GPT, it makes writing easy. And I can tell you for one, as a student, it's really going to be a great benefit. Now you might be wondering, does it mean it's going to get me lazy? I don't have to do anything. No, you have to do something. Don't forget, you are going to be the creator. It's just like the concept of pilots and a co-pilot. The co-pilot still take instructions or directions from the pilot. It's just to assist. So it's more or less like you having an assistant. So rather than seeking out someone to help you with your project, or trying for days alone with so much hard work with project, now you have the Microsoft 365 Copilot helping you to do that. It's just like the way we have Siri for Apple. So rather than typing and all, you could easily ask Siri to do something. Maybe, oh, you're driving, you're driving and you want to call someone. So rather than picking up your phone, trying to go through the contacts to look for the person you want to call, you just say, Siri, call this person, call Tosin, or and all. So in that kind of way, it has made your life easier. The same thing with I think we have Bixby from Samsung and Cortana from our own very Microsoft. And it's just what the Copilot here is going to help this time around in terms of your daily work, to give that great productivity. So it enhance creativity. It does this analysis. It helps organize data. It helps give a beautiful presentation. Let's assume you're doing PowerPoint. Get Rather than sitting down to create PowerPoint slides, like I had to do, for this particular session with Microsoft 365 Copilot. It's just, I would say, snap of the finger away. It helps you do that and even does that more creatively. Okay, so the third one is better productivity. I'm sure we cannot overemphasize productivity. That time where you get to sit and have to write a lot of things. I'm going to be saying project a lot because I know I'm basically dealing with students here who would be doing assignments, who would be writing project and making research and so on and so forth. So those kind of things, the Microsoft 365 Copilot makes life easier. So most of the time where you get 80% of your time being consumed by busy no with stuff, the it can have a better productivity with just 20%. You're already done. Now the Copilot, I would say, just it lightens up that load, helps you with, maybe you have a long email summarizing, you have an assignment and all. it helps even with that assignment. And now helping you with the assignment doesn't basically mean you won't have to do anything. It even helps you to learn better. And I think I'm going to talk about that when I talk about up-level skills. Okay, so that's in terms of better productivity. So the up-level skills, as I was saying, is it makes you better. Okay, it makes you a master of especially what you're good at. It makes you a master of it. It lets you quickly, learning those things that you do not know, and and also it's really great. It helps you up level your skill. I'll use Excel as an example for those of us that are conversant with Microsoft Excel or get to use it and all. So those percent where you have to maybe insert table and you need formulas and all of those stuff, with Microsoft 365 Copilot, you can have that easily done. So it helps you to be a master at it. Imagine, okay, I'm using Excel. I may not necessarily know all the functions or all the formulas in order to make my Excel spreadsheet great. But with this Microsoft 365 Copilot, it can help me even without having to stress about the formulas. And also it makes you a master, helps you to be better, and gives you this up level skills. Like it makes you better than it, that you present yourself. So imagine you are being given an assignment, and of course I know you would have to without the Copilot, you would need to make your research, form your notes. If you need to do any other thing, you get those done. But with Copilot, it gives you that sense of direction, helping you do all those research you're supposed to be doing that will take you, let's say, 1 hour. Just an example, 1 hour to get the research done, and in minutes, few minutes, it can quickly sort all of these things, direct you to the point. Even if you're not satisfied, that's why I said you are in charge, you're the creator. You can easily redirect or say, okay, I want it short, it's too long, or I want it this way. You give the direction. So it helps you to become a master at this particular skill. So it's really great. And those are some of the benefits of the Microsoft 365 Copilot. So I don't know if there is any questions so far before I move on. Okay, so let's continue. All right, so moving on, we have 1 minute. How to use Microsoft 365 Copilot. So how do we get to use this Copilot? Like I said, we can use it with the Microsoft 365 apps, the likes of Word, Excel. So with Word, I'm talking about Microsoft Word now. We can have Copilot with Word. So it has this seamless integration with this app that we get to use every day, such that it helps us to flow with work and making it, life much easier for us. So with Word, it can help write, edit, summarize, create, the right document, and also you can immediately say, okay, let us give me an initial draft of how to plan a party, just an example. Or there's an assignment on AI, it can give you a draft of anything. So it helps with that. And also you can decide, okay, you have 5 paragraphs on your Microsoft Word. You can decide, okay, make it 2 paragraphs. Everything I have here, reduce it to 2 paragraphs, make it more concise, change the tone. It's too casual, make it professional, make it formal, or it's too formal, make it friendly. You can give this direction and yet still be in charge. So it's really great. There's also Copilot in Excel, and I know I've mentioned it. I know time is not on my side, but please permit me to round this up. I think this will be the last slide before the demo. Okay, so for Excel, you can use it in terms of, you don't need that formula. I've said that earlier before. Maybe all those columns and row and everything. I, for one, I'm not a master of Excel. Yes, I get to use it, but I wouldn't rate myself 9/10 in Excel, you know, because of these complex formulas and all of those. But notwithstanding, with Copilot in Excel, it can help, you know, generate model based on the question, or help you explore data without even modifying it. You can hack, so give me a breakdown of sales, or give me a value of this, and it gets that done. I've talked about PowerPoint before. It's also a way we can use Copilot in PowerPoint. You know, you have an idea, and this idea, it turns to a beautiful presentation, giving you more or less like a storytelling, transforming words into a complete deck, giving you pictures and not just to make it look beautiful and, you know, having meaning. So it's really great with PowerPoint. Another one is Outlook. We know Outlook, we can check our email in our inbox, and also rather than spending time, imagine you one goes on leave or is not feeling too well and has to come back to check the mail. With Copilot in Outlook, it can quickly help you get relevant mails, not junk ones, you know, the ones that's important to you, the one you need to respond to, the one you need to follow up. It does it better and faster, you know, even more easily. So you can decide to give example. Remember, it's user friendly and it's, you know, natural language. So you can decide to say something like, oh, summarize the email I missed while I was away from work, or the email I missed while I was away from school. You know, that's if the school is tight, that do send email for assignments and all. So this is something that is really great. We also have Copilot in Teams. I find this one very, very interesting because it helps you with meetings. These days, with the help with hybrid and you know, the feature of work, hybrid work, and know where, you know, where you work from home and you get to do a lot of meeting on Teams and everything. There's usually so much conversation, so much discussion that sometimes you get lost. You see some people's calendar back to back meeting, and you're wondering, how do I keep up with all these meetings? But with Copilot in Teams, it's just it helps you organize key decisions. You can even rather than watching the recordings of maybe a meeting all over, with chat sorry, with M365 Copilot, it's going to give you all those things, the relevant things you need to know, what you've missed, even while the meeting is going on. You know, rather than disturbing a colleague and chatting, or your mate to chat to say, oh, sorry, what did this lecturer say? Let's assume you're having the meeting online, and you're like, oh, what did this lecturer say? Trying to, you know, disturb your friend who is listening. The Copilot can do that work for you without you interrupting the lecturer teaching, without you interrupting your friend who is listening, and you still get the basics of, you know, what's going on. And we also have Power Platform. We know Power Platform, we have the Power Hub, the virtual agent. So what this one basically would do is it's going to assist developers in in the skills level, in terms of, you know, iterating all this low code application. I'm rushing it. Apologies for that because time is no longer on our side. We also have chats, business chats. Now, this business chat is, it's really something that is, you know, great in terms of documents, presentation, email, calendar, note, contact. Now, all of these things is being brought together into business chat. So it's more or less like standalone. Okay. Now the users can easily summarize conversation or compose email. So you really don't have to start thinking of, how do I write this email? Or you write an email, then you're looking for a colleague to help you vet it, or you're looking for your friend to help you vet. Please come and help me read this email. Does the tone sounds right? Or did I have any spelling errors or not? No, this chat GPT, you know, does all of those. And these are just, you know, ways of how we can use it. We are not limited to this. There are co-pilots with almost all Microsoft products, the Dynamics, Viva, and so on and so forth. So we have Copilot with that. Our major focus here is the M365 application, that is the M365 Copilot. Again, I don't know if we have any other question done with the slide. I just have a demo. And this demo, I wouldn't be doing the demo. The reason is because Microsoft 365 Copilot is not, is not out yet. It has not been rolled out to users yet. So it's just within small group. I think we call them beta testers. So they're still testing it, I think, to make sure it's fine. About 20 customers, including 18 Fortune 500 enterprise. They're doing this testing. Once the testing is done, perfected and all, it will be rolled out. But I can tell you for one that for now, it's not out there. So I don't have it. You definitely would not have it yet because it has not been rolled out. Yes, it has been developed, it has been announced. Right now it's undergoing testing. Now when we say testing, sometimes it could take months, maybe 3 months or thereabouts. I really don't know. I won't be able to give precise number, but surely, and as a result of that, because it's not rolled out, there's no even details about pricing or if you can get it for free yet, or a free trial and all of that. But for now, it is still in the testing phase. So we don't have it, and that's why the demo is going to come from a video. So please permit me to play this video for 5 minutes, and that will be the end of my presentation where I can take questions and answers. So 1 minute, let me share the video with us. So let me share the video, please, very quickly.
Imagine you're leading a team at a global manufacturing company, and you want to create a rock-solid customer proposal, and you don't have time for writer's block. Let's see how Copilot can use your customer notes in OneNote as well as another internal document. Copilot quickly creates a first draft. Now, you probably want this to look like your previous proposals. Copilot can give you a draft in the format you typically use. It inserts product images and pulls in relevant visuals from other files. You can even include a short summary at the top of the document. And Copilot can make suggestions to strengthen the proposal, like adding an FAQ, which it will generate for you. Now remember, you're not going to send this off to a customer without a thorough review. But Copilot still saved you tons of time in the process. It's time to get ready for your customer pitch meeting. Now, everyone has had a moment when they wish they could turn their proposal into a customer-ready presentation without having to start from scratch. Well, guess what? Now you can. Copilot can turn your Word document into a PowerPoint presentation. Now you have a professional-looking presentation that you can hone and polish. This is truly amazing. Using just your words, Copilot translates Word into PowerPoint and PowerPoint into Word. Now, let's add a slide and give Copilot some quick instructions. There it goes, ready for you to review. Now, this slide is a little bit wordy. Let's ask Copilot to make it more visual. And check this out. Copilot can even animate the slide. It gives it a professional design treatment in a single click. But it doesn't stop there. Copilot can even generate speaker notes. I am serious. Speaker notes. It's not only a time saver, it's helping me be a better presenter and close this deal. Let's jump into Copilot in Excel. Copilot puts all the rich capabilities of Excel at your fingertips. Say you need to analyze this quarter's sales results. You start by asking Copilot to analyze the data and give you 3 key trends. Within seconds, you've got what you need. But you want to drill in. You ask Copilot a follow-up question about one of the trends. Copilot creates a new sheet. This new sheet creates a sandbox to play in to better understand what's going on without modifying the data in the original sheet. This is a great example of how Copilot up-levels your skills, showing you how to break down the problem step by step. You ask Copilot to visualize what contributed to the decline in sales growth this period. Copilot adds a little color to make the problem jump off the page. Now, you want to dig deeper and ask a follow-up question. Copilot not only answers your question, it creates a simple model of the scenario. And it even asks you if you want to learn more about what it did with a step-by-step breakdown. Finally, you can ask it to create a graph of your projected model. Copilot turned a sea of data into clear insights and actions. Let me show you how Copilot can help you tackle your email. We all struggle with the pull of the inbox. Sometimes it keeps us from focusing on our most important work. But at the same time, you do have important emails to respond to. Copilot separates the signal from the noise and gives you hours of time back. Copilot can help you triage your inbox, highlighting the most important emails to prioritize. And Copilot also helps you on the go in Outlook Mobile. It can summarize long email threads. You can draft a reply using data from an Excel file, and Copilot will generate a reply for you. You can edit it. You can make it more concise. You can even change the writing style or add more context. Now, all that's left to do is review the proposed response and hit send. Copilot is a productivity game changer.
All right, great. Who is excited? Because so I, for one, I am really excited, about this. Really, really excited about the Copilot. So I don't know if we have any question so far. If you have question, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer that. If there's any question in mind, so far, so good. If not, I will just take the conclusion, okay, for this, and we would end the session for today. So again, I was mentioning to us that the Copilot it has not been rolled out yet, but once it's been rolled out within your Word or PowerPoint, you would see the icon. In fact, it's explicitly written Copilot, wherein you can click on the Copilot tool to get work started. But like I said, if you want to try, go to Microsoft Word, you wouldn't see that now. That's because it has not been rolled out yet. Just the testers that have access to it, to use it and all. For Dynamics 365, I know there is a trial, but it's only available to those in the US. So you have to be in the US region or utilize the US region for that. But specifically with what we are dealing with today, which is Microsoft 365, it has not been rolled out yet. So sorry, we've already had our demo. My summary, I'm going to take it from the aspect of security. Now, first, the Copilot is built on Microsoft existing commitment. When I say commitment, they have this agreement when it comes to data privacy, and Microsoft is still letting you understand that yes, that is is in place. They're not going to compromise the security, because we know organizations most of the time they have their data, sensitive data and all. So Microsoft is letting us understand that yes, they still take the security and privacy seriously, and it's building that commitment. So what Copilot does is it will automatically inherit your organization's security and compliance. So whatever the organization has set in place for its security and compliance, as well as privacy policies, yes, that is what the Copilot inherits. So it doesn't provide information that you do not want out there and all. Also, data is managed in line with Microsoft current commitment. I think I said that in the earlier point. And again, Microsoft has worked to design an experience that prioritizes human agency and puts user in control. So it's not a matter of, oh, I'm using Copilot and I do not have control over what it's generating. Of course, you have control. You can give it direction, how you want it to flow. If you want it to flow, maybe you're giving word and you want it to flow in a professional way, or should I say, you want it to flow casually. You're writing a message, you want it to be casual, or you're responding to an email, you want it to be, maybe formal. This, you have a direction to do all of that. Also, when it comes to what's it called, limitation, so it's include no limitation like some other Microsoft product where you have limitation and no, it's prompt user. You can make review, you can check your fact, you can fine-tune the context. You just have the control. That's how I'm going to put it. You are in charge. The Copilot is just more or less an assistant. And finally, it's in testing phase. I, for one, I cannot wait for this Copilot, to be launched, and let's get started in enjoying what Microsoft has to offer. And like I was telling, a friend yesterday that the world is not ready for AI yet. With this Copilot that Microsoft has introduced, is just a whole new level. So that would be the end of my presentation. Like I said, if there's question, please, I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have in mind. I have reference links here that could help us understand more about this Microsoft 365 Copilot, how it works, and in-depth, even videos, different videos like the one I played for 5 minutes. There's so much to that, but because of our time, I had to reduce it to the specific thing I want us to hear during the session for just the demo. But there's so much interesting, and I have all those reference links here put together. So that'll be all from my hand, and really thank you for listening. I hope we learned one or two things, and you're as excited as I am, with the Microsoft 365 Copilot. Okay, I think there's a question here. Someone is saying, can you work independently without having any reference in the Microsoft 365? Okay, so I think the business charts, the idea of the business chart is to have that as a standalone bomb. However, you still need the Microsoft 365 plan to get to work. Although Microsoft does not mention anything about the pricing or how it's going to be used, any of those. Microsoft has not mentioned that yet. However, there's because you just need the Microsoft 365 plan to get it started, and the plan usually would determine how much you use. So to answer that question, you still need the Microsoft 365 subscription, or should I say plan, whatever it is. I don't know if I am able to answer your question. Okay, so I don't know if there's any other question. If not, I will stop, sharing, and maybe we can have Bumi or Abdulhakim back. Hello, Bumi or Akim, please can someone hear me? All right. I don't know if there's network issues with the moderators. Okay, but thank you very much. Really, I appreciate being here. It's such a great privilege, and you know, I look forward to questions. You can reach me on LinkedIn if you have any question regarding Microsoft 365 Copilot or any other Microsoft 365 question. I'll be more than happy, to answer or give direction. Even though Copilot would have been your best assistant, we know we don't have it yet, but in the meantime, I'll be available to answer any questions. So thank you, and please enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.